what's going on? You know who it is. It's me, John Stevenson, and I haven't been live in a minute, but I'm going live today because I was sitting here talking to a good friend of mine, and you see him here on the screen. This is my man, Denisio. Denisio, highlight the people real quick, man.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah,
How you doing,
that's his
John? Thanks for having me.
That's his. Yeah, this is my man.
Yeah, man.
And
Thanks for having me.
man,
Yeah.
we was just talking, man, and I felt like, hey, see, I got us live on my see, we're live, man. See that? Look at that.
Nice.
So
I
I figured, man, we were talking about this, man. You're a good dude, and all right. Let me tell you guys how I know Denisio. It's part of the family. I've got friends I grew up with. He married my sister, not that sister Doris, not that the cooking the health girl. My my sister Tree was a little boy, and if you guys can remember, back in the radio days, I had Treva on Vision for Change, a radio show. And Treva talked about some of the things that she was doing in books and all the good things. And known this for 20 something. How long, man? How long we know each other? You know how long we've known each other? It's been a while.
20 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's been.
But anyway, man, he's got some good stuff going on.
It's been over 20 years.
Yeah, it has been. But I wanted I wanted to bring you on, and we're on these platforms because you're doing something very interesting that I figured, man, we could share. We was talking about it, so I figured, man, why don't we just go ahead and put it out here and let everybody hear about it, and maybe they can join in and help some kind of way. So, man, let's talk about what's going on, man, because I love the fact of what you're doing. I love when people do things with history, and go ahead and talk about it. I don't want to go into all of it.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm very excited, man. So I have a national nonprofit organization that I started. Actually, I've been working on it pretty much, I would say, my entire life. But I officially launched it as a official nonprofit tax-exempt 501c3 in 2025. And I finally found the time and finally found the courage. I didn't know how I would go about it. A very good friend of mine and someone I look up to in the Native American community. He's the administrative director of the Maryland Department of Indian Affairs. I had him speak at an event at my previous job prior to the budget cuts by the current administration. I had him speak at one of my events, and make a long story short, afterwards we were still talking, and he asked me, like, what am I doing with my tribe, and are any efforts with regard to the tribe, and told him that I wanted to do this nonprofit, but I was somewhat intimidated, somewhat afraid of moving forward. But after he spoke to me, it kind of I'm like, okay, I have to do this, because he essentially told me that my organization, if I was to do it, I'd be the first and only organization in the state of Maryland that currently represents our tribe, my tribe. And
okay, well, tell everybody what your tribe is and the background of your tribe, Native American. Just talk about it a little bit, man, because I got it under your name, the Tainio, and then pronounce it correctly. I know I'm gonna mess it up.
yeah, it's actually pronounced Taino. And so I used the tribal name as an acronym from our organization. Trying to get savvy with it, and it kind of worked out. I actually liked the way it came out. Taino American Indigenous National Organization. So background on the Tainos. Tainos are Arawak-speaking Native American Indians that thrive across most of your Caribbean islands. And what makes us unique as a tribe is that because of Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands, our tribe has a direct connection to American United States history, and we're directly connected to the United States government, for lack of a better word, right? So, but to cut to the chase, it's kind of crazy that a lot of people don't know about us. And it was supposed to be that way. It's made that way by colonizers. And the backstory is very simple. A lot of people are familiar with the story of Christopher Columbus, but what they're not familiar with is that the tribe that they're speaking of when they talk about Christopher Columbus is my tribe. We were the first tribe that Christopher Columbus and other colonizers, found when they came to this side of the country, this side of the world. As we all know, he was lost. He thought he was in India, hence the word Indian, where that's where that all came from. We're indigenous people, but historically now has come to, I guess, to somewhat be accepted as Indian because of the history, right? But as the story is told, and I'll actually share from a personal perspective. I was 10 years old in elementary school, and my family, my parents, my grandparents used to share stories of our tribe that were passed down through them. Um, and so during Native American History Month, my grade school teacher asked, who here is Native American? And as a 10-year-old kid, I was very proud and excited and just glad to be picked on. I could share something that I thought was cool and believed in. And I said, I am. And she said, what tribe? I said, Arawak Taino. And she said, looked at me in front of the whole class and everybody and said, those people don't exist. They're all dead. So
Wow.
It blew my mind. It actually destroyed me and sent me into a path that was not good. And, I realized it later, years later, but it was because of that moment, because I didn't know as a 10-year-old kid what was happening, but all I felt suddenly was that I didn't matter. I didn't exist. If you could sit up there and tell me, a living person, breathing, human person standing in front of you, that we're all dead, we don't exist, so why should you educate me? Why should you tell me truth? Why should you provide me with knowledge, skills, and opportunity if you believe that I'm dead? So, of course, this is me realizing this later on, but at the time, 10-year-old kid, I didn't know this was what was going on in my heart and in my head because of the fact that I was being told by someone that I'm supposed to look up to. And, I was confused because my parents always raised us to think that you go to school to learn, you have to believe and trust in your teachers. They're the ones who are going to teach you truth. They're going to teach you facts. They're going to teach you the way to navigate this world. So now I found myself at a very young age not trusting a school system, not trusting my teachers because they were lying to me. And then at first I was not wondering what I should think about my parents because they're the ones telling me to believe and trust them. But now I'm going home and I'm telling them the story. Now they're telling me, oh, don't listen to them. They're liars. They don't know what they're talking about. So it was very confusing. So that's where my story started at 10 years old. So, of course, throughout my lifetime, navigating back and forth, going through those moments and reliving those moments and seeing what's going on as a young adult, very much into a growing up into a full-blown man and living this life, realizing all the other things that are connected to, equity and diversity in this country and the lack of it and why we were and are continue to, in a lot of cases, be overlooked and dismissed. And I'm talking about, I'm not talking about just Native American or my tribe in particular. I'm talking about people of color in general. It's something that obviously plagues this country.
We could talk about it. People of color. It could be a lot. I find that, man, we're living in a time where we should be coming together to learn one another. But I won't get political or talk about the things that we see in the climate of our country. But how much do we know? You could travel abroad. You've traveled abroad. I've traveled abroad, and we don't know much about other parts of the world living here in the United States. And most folks who come over here, they know more about us than we've learned in history class and all that, man. And so that's the sad part. But I think some of that's changing, man. And that's why I think the thing that you're doing right now is good because there are things that I had to learn as an adult about American history and the Native American indigenous people. I'm still learning things, and the things you've been teaching me and talking to me about And so you're holding an event, man. We said I called this just a chat.
Yeah, it's
We kind of just impromptu threw this out here, man. So I want to share it so folks can be a part of what you're doing, man. So talk about that a little bit, man, and we'll share some information on how people can be a part of that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So so we've been doing a lot of work in our short time, and I'm very happy and successful. Of our quick success that we're having. We've been able to complete, and actually were invited to complete, a oral history with the Maryland State Archives. So we completed a project with them. So we're in the history books in the state of Maryland. We've
Nice.
So that's history in itself, and we're excited about that. And then, we've been working hard at, and still are working at, getting a state resolution proclamation that affirms our existence. Along those lines, while working through that, we were in the process of organizing our first annual initiative, which is focused on promoting awareness, education, and it's a fundraiser. I mean, none of this happens without raising funds.
Right.
And so, while we were doing that, and trying to get ongoing support for the proclamation, which I'll share more information about that. I was reaching out to local community leaders like yourself and other government leaders within the state of Maryland, Montgomery County, and I sent an invitation and information to. I'm going to save it for a surprise, but a local council member, who came back and say, hey, I want to send you support with regard to what you're doing. I'm going to go one step further. I want to go ahead and issue you a proclamation here in Montgomery County. So shout out to Montgomery County government. Shout out to the leaders of Montgomery County. Shout out to the people who live here, who understand the impact, who understand the significance of it, and being the first to step up. So this proclamation is going to be issued at our event that we have scheduled for Thursday, May 28th, from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And you can register by scanning that QR code that's coming up on your screen now. You can join. I think that particular link is for you to be able to get your ticket. Tickets are limited, so that's for the in-person version. You can also go on our website and go to our website, or go to our Instagram and click on the link that'll take you to the registration to sign in virtually if you want to join virtually. So you'll be able to.
And what's the website, man?
Our website is tainonatives.org. 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 And you can go to the events page, and you'll see a flyer on there with all the information, and you have the opportunity to go there. Or you can go to our Instagram at Taino Amer Indigenous NATL.org. And link is in the bio, and you can click on that link and you can register there to join the event virtually. So we're having some of my tribal members coming up from as far as New York and Boston, who are coming in to do a live performance and celebrate the event and educate people on some of the tribal dances that are part of our tribe. We have several guest speakers that are going to be coming on, inclusive of myself. I'll be sharing. I'm excited to have Dr. Stefan Scott, who's considered a DEI subject matter expert and has a profound understanding of Indigenous history and culture. So he'll be speaking on the significance of DEI in relation to Indigenous history. We have Maryland State Assistant Archivist Corey Lewis, who's coming to speak and share information on the significance of our oral projects work, and that is now again part of the Maryland Archives history. So we're having him speak on that, and we have recently partnered with CKC Farming, and so we're excited to announce that. And she'll, executive director and founder, Hannah Shoulder, she'll be sharing the significance of that partnership and obviously the connection of land to indigenous history. So that's significant. And the last two, if you do your due diligence and see some of the promotions, you'll see those speakers. But I'm not going to say them. They're there. They're available. We're excited. And we're excited to have them. We'll be delivering some profound messages on the significance of what their work as leaders in the community and how it relates to what we're doing and why they thought it necessary for them to come speak at this event. So there's going to be food, there's going to be music, there's going to be some great speaking, networking, and like I said, it's a fundraiser. So none of the work that we're doing can be done without financial resources. So we're asking people to donate, whether virtually or if they come in person and experience the event live. You have the opportunity to donate live, in person. So, and it's going to be at the historical Sandy Springs Oddfellows Lodge, and that's going to be at.
Yo, man, I will put it in here and show it, man. I wish I had it earlier, but I'll try to get it in here. Hold on, let me see if I can get it in here, man. What's coming on the screen? And what I'll do is those who are watching the replay of this, also, folks, share this out for me. Just do me a favor. Just do me a favor. Share it out. So Denizio, my man, can have the support with this, and also once you register, you can be a part of this so you can learn as well. But Denizio, hold on, man. I'm gonna try to share that on the screen if I can, man. That way people can see it live.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, it's we're excited, man. It's I want to give a big shout out actually while we're talking about it to the Oddfellows Lodge. I'd share a quick story about how we ended up with them, they are actually serving as the key sponsors for this event. And so I had made reservations for another location, and everything was approved. Everything looked great. When I tell you, John, from the time I clicked submit and got the confirmation, something was not sitting right with me. It just didn't feel right. This was probably about 3.5 months ago, and up until about a month ago, or maybe even 3 weeks ago, not even a month, I was still having this feeling, and something said, you have to check on what's going on with this facility. And so I knew I couldn't wait any longer because we're coming up close on the event and needing to promote timely for the event, the whole nine, and making sure that I have a space. So I called them. I'm not going to name the space. I called them, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, nobody called you, nobody got in contact with you." I was like, "Yeah, no, you can't do the event here because it's a fundraiser and we can't have any exchanges of funds. Also, you're not friends with this organization, and you have to be a friends member with this organization. And then there's criteria, to do all of that." And I'm like, well, why was anybody going to tell me? Like, I'm like literally weeks away from my event. Okay, so that it was what it was. So I went online and was looking for a place. Was looking at several places. I had made arrangements to visit some places and to go be prepared to put money down in a space that I really didn't have the money for. We don't have the money for. But at that point, I felt like I had no choice because the event was already confirmed in full motion. Couldn't step back now. So I was going full speed ahead trying to find a space. So that morning before I was going to go visit the space that I was about to go put money on to this event, I was on a Zoom call with a young lady, and she will be at the event. I'm happy to say her name is Miss. Well, what is? Oh my God. Um, can't think of her name right now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm embarrassed.
Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. I want to hear more about the space because I'm gonna drop a question on you, man, a faith question on you in a second. So go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, so what happened was I'm getting ready. I'm in the meeting with her, actively in the meeting with her, and and we're having a long, lengthy conversation about the work that we're doing, and her affiliations and what she's been working on with this organization, CAG, CAAG. So I said, hey, look, I'm gonna have to end the call because I'm scheduled to go see the space, whatever that I have to reluctantly go put money on for this event. She says, hold on just a minute. She said, hold on just a minute. And without even batting an eye, she got on the phone while we were on the call, on the Zoom call, and calls this gentleman and said, hey, this needs to happen. You have the space. I know what you're trying to do with your space. I know what you guys are doing. I think you really need to take a look at the work that this organization is doing and how it aligns with everything that your organization and your lodge and what you guys do. And so, while we're on the call, the guy says, hey, I'm here right now. It's a done deal. Tell him to come look at the space. We can iron everything right on the spot, take care of it, and we'll be the sponsors for the event. So it went like from 0 to 1,000, like within a fraction of a second, just based on that conversation. So big shout out to the Sandy Springs Historical Oddfellows Lodge for stepping up, supporting us. And
you know something, man. Let me throw this at you, man, because my wheelhouse is this. I believe all things are possible, and when you got a passion and you know something for you, you're supposed to do something, and you just keep going. Would you say this, man? Because I know there's some trepidation, but if you keep going, it just seems like things just work out as long as you don't quit. Man, talk about that a little bit, because I know you've seen other things like that, but right here you're seeing it, because some of this, just based on these people are dead, hearing that when you're younger, but you knew there's something more. And I'm now at a place in my life where I can try to do something about it. I'm sure you had negative things come against you. I'm sure you had things people told you, this silly, it's not going to work. But to keep moving forward, you started seeing things working out for you. So if I got somebody listening right now before we close this out, what would you say to them?
Just know your truth, right? I mean, I'm going to err on the side of my family, man, my grandmother especially, who was very key in sharing stories. And of course my parents, right? And so just stay in your truth and believe in your truth, and speak truth to power and bring it to light. That's all I'm saying. To this day, that narrative has, while we come away, I still come across people daily. Recently came across a very high political figure that I had a conversation with, and out of respect for him, I'm not going to mention any names. We were sitting down shoulder to shoulder, high in the community, very high in our government system, and I'm having shoulder to shoulder conversation with him and talking to him, and he didn't realize that we were talking on social media, that he was talking to me, and we were going back and forth. And after a while, at first I'm thinking, oh, this is someone that's monitoring his social media, because people on that level, they have people monitoring their social media. But then as the conversations continued through social media on the back end, at one point I realized, wait a minute, I'm really talking to this gentleman. He's talking to me. It's like this is not someone, just in the context of the conversation, I could tell that this is someone who's not having his social media monitored. He's doing it himself. So long story short, we came across each other in a public event, and I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with him. And he said hi. I said hi to him. We're standing there talking, and so I said to him, So I'm the gentleman that you've been talking to online in reference to the Tainos, and he looked over at me. He said, "Oh wow, really? Oh my God, that's amazing." And he said, "Tell me more." So I told him more. So then he said, "So I have to ask you a question." He said, "Aren't those people extinct? Aren't those people all dead?" This is a very powerful, educated man, right? So I'm kind of looking at him,
Mm.
and this is the power of false history and colonization mindset, and how for centuries upon centuries there's been this specific focus on making certain groups of ethnic demographic people be non-existent, and that, as we know, continues today. So to have someone that smart, that educated, who is a leader in this community, to actually say to me that we don't exist. So my response to him was very simple. I said, "Think about what you're saying, sir." I said, "So if that were true, we would be the first ethnic group of the human race." I phrased it this way: we would be the first ethnic group of a human race that has not been able to procreate or migrate. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Does that make sense that we are legitimately killed off? That makes no sense. It's just that simple. So you would have to believe that absolutely no of Arawak Tainos in the 1500s, 1600s escaped the onslaught from the colonizers. You would have to believe that. You would have to believe that there wasn't rape that occurred, which there was, right? And so that alone proves that the DNA exists, right? Then there's the other
Mm.
science and medical side of it, right? Don't take my word for it, look it up. According to medical experts and archaeologists, DNA has been found to exist in a dead corpse for up to 1,000,000 years. None of us here today have lived 1,000,000 years. So if DNA can exist in a dead corpse for up to 1,000,000 years, how can it cease to exist in a human breathing,
Mm.
body? So that
And see, and
alone,
then we go back to what you said about knowing your truth and standing on and doing the things that you believe are right. And now in your area is this, but if anybody out there is watching, it could be whatever your thing is, and we'll have people that don't believe in it because you could have taken that. This is somebody who is of influence, somebody's of power, and he's saying he didn't know. And I wonder how many other things that people have in their life that we don't know, that we need to know. Because I believe it's all about relationships. I believe it's all
absolutely,
about us
absolutely.
connecting.
Mm-hmm.
And so, bruh, I appreciate you doing what you're doing to connect us, give us more history of some people who do exist and probably have added greatly. We're not going to share it all because we want them to come to the event. And that have added greatly to society and probably some of the things that we do every single day. Mm-hmm. So, man, although things might be changing in certain areas in public schools, I'm glad your organization exists. And if you guys are watching us, right there's a QR code. Please go click that QR code. Go to taino.org.
No.
Register for this.
I was going to tell you about that. That ticker is incorrect. It's tainonatives.org.
All right, let me make it right.
Yeah, Taino Natives. TAINO Natives. NATIVES.org. TainoNatives.org.
Got it.
And you can navigate the website to get to our proclamation and sign the petition. You can navigate to the website and you can learn more about the event. And you can just navigate the website and learn more. No, natives with a V.
Right, got it. TainoNatives.org. There we go.
There you go. Got it.
There
Right.
we go.
There we go. Third time.
Now, again, you guys, listen, we here. I said I was just going to come over here and just chat. We didn't plan this, did we? Denise, did we plan this? No, we didn't plan this. We just, I was showing him how a program works. And I said, you know what, man, let's just talk about this online and let people know about it instead of just you and I talking about it. So this is a little raw for us right here today. We both had other things we were doing today. We figured, hey, let's just share it out with some people. And then we want you to share this out because sometimes we have to research and find history. And you never know what you may find.
It's a free event. It's a free event. So the tickets that the QR code, they're free. It is limited space, limited seating. The virtual is also limited to 200. So get it while you can, and hopefully we'll see you, and hopefully you guys will be there to share and learn with us, and hear more about the work that we're doing, and and be there present when history is made. I mean, this is huge because it doesn't get bigger than to basically having a community behind you saying, yeah, that we see you, we're aware of you, that you exist, and we're going to affirm that for you. So that's really.
And also, it could be some networking. You never know what could come about it. So get a chance to meet some new people. All right, family, I'm gonna log off. I don't want to take any more of your time. If you're watching a replay of this, do me a big favor: share this out. Listen, we've got some other things coming up with Visit for Change on June 2nd. We got a wonderful online conversation, and we'll got some advertisements coming out for that. It's going to be on June the 2nd at 7 p.m. Make note of that. Getting back on the block with some of this podcasting. And I want you all to join me for that, a conversation just about community and some connections, just a little peek into that. Remember, as I always say, man, all things are possible if you can just believe. So go ahead and buy a YouTube page, and it's Visit for Change YouTube, all those good things where I'm at. All right, we love you guys. You guys have a great day. Thanks for joining, taking the time to hang out with us.